Okay, hello friends, welcome all. This is Sunan Sharma. I am a moderator of this webinar, and today we are going to refresh our Scale Agile concept along with weighted shortage of first tool, which is prioritization tool. Most of the people know about that. Today we will see some practical approaches how we can do that with the help of Vinay, of course. So before we introduce today's guest, few do's and don'ts. So if you have any query, please post in chat. We'll pick up your queries at the end of the session. And please turn on your camera, and at the end do share your feedback. That will obviously going to help us in future in further videos and all. So friends, today's we have Vinay Babu with us. You might have seen in our earlier two sessions. We have done with one session with him for a Wipro Scrum Master interview session. Another session we have done for Deloitte scale interview questions and answers. So if you have not seen those sessions, I will post those link in the description. You can go back and check those links. That is again a good session which we have with Vinay. And about Vinay, he's agile coach, certified SPC trainer, having 12 years of total IT experience. So welcome Vinay, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Sunan. Thank you. Thanks a lot for that introduction. And as you introduced, I think we have done two videos, two sessions as a part of to give back to the community. Like, even I use these career talk videos to, kickstart my new opportunities in the agile world. And it was great to be part of this family. And I think with this channel, even we are growing. Like, I have association, I think, past 1 year. Okay, I'm seeing the rich content is going on day by day. Now, if you see that content, even I'm feeling happy because I come to there and even I learn. Latest this DevOps video also I have seen yesterday. Yeah, that is the kind of impact your videos have here.
Hey, thanks, Vinay. Thank you.
Sure, I'll share my screen and let's jump into the topic.
So friends, before Vinay start, just a small disclaimer. So we have taken a permission from Scale Agile. It's very difficult to get permission from them. So it will take around 1.5 months for us to go back to them and ask for the permission of various slides, whatever we are using in this. It's approved by Scale Agile. So you cannot just copy paste their content in your slide and just use it, right? So if you are also using it in any of your in your company or something like that, please ask for some permission from them. Yeah. Okay, Vinay, sorry, please go ahead.
No, that's actually a good disclaimer because I think more than 1.5 months we have back and forth with Safe Community. We had 3 iterations on reviewing the content in this PPT. So yeah, because Safe, though it is available on their website, but we had to take permission from them to use their stuff. Okay, so quick introduction on myself. I'm currently working as Agile coach in UHG in Hyderabad. So overall, I have 12 years of experience, especially I started my project management career in traditional project management, and then I started learning about Agile, Scrum, and started implementing Scrum where there is no Scrum in the organization. So that's my thing, and so these 12 years has spread into the aerospace and health care domain, and I'm currently working as a volunteer program manager at PMI Hyderabad Pearl City chapter. So these are few credentials. Currently, I'm active as safe program consultant. So being SPC, I can able to teach safe classes, leading safe Scrum Master and safe Advanced Scrum Master and our other courses. So I'm a PMA, ACP, and Discipline Agile as well, and ICP, ACC for the Agile coaching. Okay, in a nutshell. So coming back to today's agenda, I'll start with pretty basic thing. What is Agile? We all know, right? Everybody knows regarding Agile, Scrum. So I'll try to the benefit of the people who are new here. I'll go through the Agile and Scrum, and then I'll go for safe. Okay, and in safe I'll talk about essential safe. I think in Samit video. He has covered what is safe and few stuff regarding safe. If you are not seeing that video, you can please go to the Career Talk channel's playlist and you can find that video. And so, what is Agile release train, which is an important thing in the safe? I'll cover that. And what are the ART rules and events? And finally, coming to our prioritization technique on the weighted shorted job first. That's one of the beautiful thing in safe. It can be used everywhere, but predominantly they talk a lot in safe world, scaled agile framework world. So this simple agenda. So I try to cover them, and we will have a lot of interaction because these things you can see in the Google and or in anywhere you can learn by yourself. But I wanted to have a conversation mode. Okay, so starting with agile, as everybody knows, since I come from traditional project management background, I really fell in love with this type of methodology wherein you're bound to check open for any changes. So agile, you have a lot of definitions. Altogether, if you combine, it counts to my mind as ability to respond for the change, which is much more essential in the current business, dynamic business world. So, and as we all know, Agile is time boxed, and I try to approach. I I grabbed this from Google or Wiki pages. I see here software delivery. They say it's a software delivery, but it applies to every other world of business because in any what you call traditional mechanical or aerospace, everywhere is applied, but predominantly it came into the picture or it came this much popular with the software industry. That's what I can say. Okay, and we all know, right? Incremental delivery. We will deliver in packets. Okay, or whatever that 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 3 weeks, depending upon the context of every company or every program or every organization. The ideally we will go 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Incremental delivery. So with that, what happens? We'll get feedback in short time, and wherein we will cross verify whether we are sailing in the right direction or not with the customer. So that's the biggest thing when compared to traditional project management. When in traditional project management, you're bound to get feedback after developing for a couple of months or 3 months. They were in a lot of risk is there. And coming back to agile, that risk is breaking into the pieces because longer the time, the bigger the risk happens for the project. So in agile, that risk is addressed very well because of early involvement of the customer. Okay, so in agile, we know, right? Scrum is we are widely popularly used. We have Kanban, we have Safe, we have Less, we have Discipline Agile. There is a basic difference between the Scrum, Kanban, and Safe, Less, Discipline, and Agile. Okay, so what I can say is the Scrum is to talk about Scrum. No, Scrum is at team level, and scaling Agile. Whatever the Scrum is applied at teams level, when you apply it for program level or solution level, we need certain scaling agile methodologies. In that scaling agile, safe is widely again properly used. No, safe and less, and discipline agile. Discipline agile is from PMI, Project Management Institute. They are widely bringing this into the market. So yeah, we have. So each methodology has its own pros and cons. I don't want to go into that, but my focus for today will be on safe. So before going for safe, what is Scrum? You know, right? We have everybody know we have a lot of content in our channel itself, and predominantly everybody knows in the market, especially in IT world. Scrum again, it's based on rugby, what the sports they call. Some people it call it rugby, some people it call football or whatever it may be. And this is what this traditional Scrum framework. Okay, this is taken from the Scrum.org. So wherein we have product backlog. From the product backlog, team will take few items into their sprint backlog during the sprint planning, and this cycle will go 2 weeks. Okay, team consists of different roles: the Scrum Master, product owner, and everybody. And we have daily Scrum. for for 2 weeks of time, and at the end of the Scrum, we'll have some working software that is also increment. So we will give that demo to the respect to key stakeholders, and we will take a feedback. And after that, we will have a sprint retrospection of what we have done, what can be improved, and so what are the challenges we have faced, and can we come up with some actionable things which can be pulled into the next team sprint. Okay. I don't want to go little bit detail here because everybody knows, but to the benefit of the new members, I just now covered on high level. Okay. So as I said in the earlier slide, when a team is following Scrum, okay, they are good. They can they are able to develop that incremental product development, and they are getting feedback. So, but most of the application is not like that, right? Only one team cannot develop stuff, right? You have a lot of other teams as well. So that there the scrum of scrums into the comes into the picture, wherein scrum of scrum means team of teams. Okay, 4 or 5 teams following scrum, and if they meet at regular intervals, they will get, that is called as scrum of scrum. So for an application or for an organization, if they want to scale up the agile, so this safe comes into the picture. So when I was started my learning in this project management aspect, I in 2017 or 16 I completed PMP, and then I saw the business market is going at agile, and I done PMI ACP, and then I was thinking about what next, and I came to know about SAFe. So when I went to the SAFe, especially if you see this picture, it is very complex. Okay, but it looks like complex. If you go to that website, everything is clickable. Okay, you can learn by yourself. It's an ocean again. By seeing these pictures, should not get afraid. Okay, this is not another level of learning. A lot of content is there. Nothing is there. Just you need to break down into the pieces. When you attack on a problem, you will try to break down things, right? As a scrum master, you have that ability to taking it to chunks. Even Agile is also saying that, right? You focus on little things, and once you after a good amount of time, you'll have a very big picture or good amount of deliverables in your hand. Similar approach you cater here, you'll be fine. So what is SAFe? This is a very prescriptive methodology. I'm saying prescriptive, meaning it is certain, like if you take Scrum, you have that Scrum ceremonies, right? Sprint backlog, sprint review, and sprint retrospective, daily stand up. These are the ceremonies which we need to follow. Here also we have, apart from that, we have an extra level, going into taking it to the next level. Okay. So with all this, when you see a lot of prescriptive things, okay, you have to do something like this, you have to do no you have to follow certain rules, or you have to follow certain guidelines or something like that. But remember, for any new thing, you have to follow first. You remember Shuhari rule. Shu means first you follow the rule, because you don't know anything, right? I think Japanese scientist, or well-known person, founder of that Chuhari rule. Chu means follow the rule. Ha means after following, try to break the myth, or try to break some rules, because you are quite matured enough at that time. After following rules for certain time, you will get that maturity level. Once you break that rule and you form your own rules, and you are at nirvana stage, it's an shuhari, last stage. Similar approach, if you follow here, that will be great. So I'll cover this. It is not possible to cover whole things in this picture in a single, or in 1 hour or 30 minutes class or session. That's why we recommend SAFe courses for people if you really want to deep dive into there. But I can cover crux of the SAFe here. So basically, if you see, in previous video, Samit was explaining, ground floor, first floor, or second floor, something like that. Similar approach. You see, base is essential shape, which is minimum things to follow. If you want to follow safe, that is what this essential shape is talks about. We will predominantly concentrate over here in this session, and then the next level, large solution, meaning multiple trains. If you see in essential shape, the key element is agile release train. We will cover what is agile release train in upcoming slides. And in a large solution, you have multiple ARPs. Okay, you see here. And if you look at the actual website, all these things are clickable. Okay, if you click it, it will take to the next page. You can get down with more details, very specific details, and 90 pages. Okay, try to shoot it at the pieces I said, as I said, and then portfolio, meaning large solutions, multiple large solutions or multiple portfolios. That is at the portfolio level. Okay, and SAFE predominantly talks about their core competencies. On left side, if you see, all these are core competencies. So we have in core competencies, SAFE will actually say that what is things needs to be followed while you are working in safe environment. Okay, and on right side you have these palettes, vision, roadmap, all those things. If somebody wants to know certain things about what is milestone, what is vision, what is roadmap, you can come here and you have lengthy articles here. Okay, and bottom you have core values. Even all these things are clickable links. It will take an implementation of a roadmap for implementation roadmap for safe. And finally, we have SAFE program consultant who is involved in the implementation of SAFE. For any organization, if they want to implement SAFE, they need at least 5 to 10 SPCs, because this is a vast thing. So SPCs will train the leaders, SPCs will train the resources, managers, everybody. So the SPC have a lot of big role in implementation of SAFE. Okay, this is just overall thing. We will anyhow we have placed links over here, or just say type safe program as not scale agile framework in Google. You land over here. Okay, we are not just opening because of this all the copyright issues around. Okay, so what is safe essential shape, or if in our language you can say minimum safe, or so safe essential shape contains a minimum set of roles. We will talk about what are the roles, events. We will talk of the events and artifacts required to continuously deliver business solutions via ART, Agile Release Train. Okay. So this is the picture of what we call essential shape. So if you look at the picture, there is a slight difference. That, if you see these core competencies and all other things, a part of this is taken over here. Like this. You don't see at the large solution level. At large solution level, again, we have roles, different roles. At portfolio level, we have different roles. So as we move on to the top, the complexity increases. It will get bigger and bigger. Okay. So in essential shape, what you call is it has a agile release train, and we have a PI plan, program increment. Again, PI planning is a heart of safe. That also takes good amount of time. It's a 2 days event. They will in physical world it is 2 days, or in virtual world it is 3 days, wherein all the people who in the agile release train come together and sit together and discuss the plan. What are the next generally 2.5 months what you call features, and they'll come up with every stuff. So basically this sets a tone for next 2.5 months. Okay, we will go a little bit detail in the coming slides. So these are the roles at the teams level. We all know, right? At it in general, Scrum, in normal Scrum, you have Scrum Master, Product Owner, and a development team. It consists of developers and QA. So now we are calling it a development team. Okay, it's not just a developer team. Okay, it consists of cross-functional teams. Okay, and SAFe hugely relies on few key things, built-in quality, DevOps, and solution context. Because once you come to the next level, when you're working in 8 to 10 teams, the communication becomes complex, and the what you call coordination and dependencies, all these things comes into the picture. Okay, so for any organization to start up with SAFe, they can start with the essential shape. Or in essential shape, these are the things. Okay, and the key things in this essential shape is agile release train and PA planning. Okay, so what is ART? Okay, by definition, right? So ART. So we have for any application or for any solution, we have people from business, product people, so software, quality, testing, complaints, operations, security. So now, few of the or many of the organizations, they are working in silos. Okay, or they have this developers team, QA team, okay, systems team, business team, separate. They are there, in their own teams, and while coming to delivering the value, they are not able to, form a team, and deliver what is required. So basically, it's a ART is a virtual team wherein all cross-functional teams come together, and they will deliver a value. Okay, and it's what you call by based on the value delivered by the organization or the program. This ART is formed. Okay, in implementing SAFe, there are a lot of tools and lot of what you call hmm, resources in the SAFe website, wherein how you can come up with the agile release train. I'll give you the simple example in our real world. When you enter into the subway, right? So you will enter into the shop or the outlet. You'll go to the person, and you'll say your requirements, like it's veg or non-veg. I don't know type of bread you will choose. He'll ask you need extra cheese or not, and then you'll go to next step. You'll select your veggies, and next step you'll go to sauce, and you'll select your sauces, and then he will put all the stuff, and he'll pack it, and he'll give it, and then later you'll pay the bill and you'll exit. So there is no, it's like every step is organized and sequential. Okay, so here many things are involved. I being a customer, the other person is taking my requirements. Based on the requirements, the product is getting ready, and from their side, you can see only the person who is making the stuff. But for the raw material, or he gets onto his table, the other persons are involved there, and the supply chain is there. Material, stock, everything he has to that as a whole they have to taken care. Okay, we only see that person who takes the order and who will put all this together, and at the end you will pay the bill and will come out. So beyond that, you have a lot many other teams, like the veggies. If you say veggies needs to be cleaned properly, and it's chopped. Okay, make it ready. So lot many other people are involved. You won't see actually them working behind them, and they all together they're delivering a value to the customer. Here in this case, in that example, you are getting the sub. Okay, and that too customized for me. It is not that you go there and give me sub. It is not, you are not just stepping in stepping out, right? That product is based, prepared according to your taste and your requirements. So similarly, the ART in the organizations are built something like that. Okay, not just that product team is somewhere there, and he will give requirements, and we will code. We will do our coding, and we'll give QA, and production deployment another team. That is another day. So bring those all to pay all these people together, and that's how typical Scrum team is also something like that, right? You have product owners, Scrum master, developers, QA, Similarly, in SAFe, if you take at a bigger level, in the sense, business team, supply chain also comes into the picture, vendors also come into the picture. I predominantly belong to aerospace, where the applications are huge. Though I used to work as a avionics engineer there earlier, wherein our role was to just to develop a application there, or just which pilot uses that. But beyond that, that our software has to integrate to that system, embedded into their system, and they have their own things, of bring all those things, the teams together, and at the end to end, what is as a team we are delivering to the customer, what the value we are bringing together, not the value what you are bringing yourself individually or specific core function, end to end, something like that. These teams are formed. It's a virtual organization, uh, and which will actually help. Why? Because this helps in accelerating the value. Okay. Before this also they'll do value stream mapping exercise. Okay, it's something. This is virtual organization, right? So SAFe comes up with the robust tools. They first do the value stream mapping exercise. Okay, they will try to identify where are the wastes are there, where are the gaps are there. They will try to remove, and then they'll form a virtual team there. So based on this, the ART forms. Okay. Okay. So if you go here, we have at the Scrum level, we have few team roles. Okay. And at the SAFe level, we have special another team roles added here. Okay. We will see. Generally, right, this Scrum roles, the Agile team roles. This is specifically at the teams level. These are the team level roles. Product owner, he represents business. Okay. Scrum master, he's facilitator for the team. Okay. Development team. Okay, it comprises of developers, QA and everybody. So altogether, these people at the team level, they will deliver some package. Okay. And what you call in general normal Scrum, at the end of the sprint, we will review, we will give a demo, and product owner gives the feedback, and this continues. This is at the team level. So as a SAFe Scrum Master, as a Scaled Agile Framework Scrum Master, you have a few additional things that we will take up. We will talk more about. So what are the roles in the Agile release train? I'll specifically add more description to each role. Release train engineer, product management, system architect and engineering, systems team, and business team. Okay, if you see here, at the teams level, we have Windows. Okay. At the teams level, we have these roles. Okay. And at the train level, we have these roles. So at the team level, Agile coach is a Scrum Master. Okay. And Scrum Master has his own responsibilities. He is a facilitator and he is an Agile coach for the team. And he is responsible for the team deliverables and team what you call performance in terms of delivering the points, velocity or whatever the at the team level. So when there are multiple scrum of scrums, they called as, you have multiple two or three, no, not two, or minimum of 5 to maximum of 12 scrum masters. They're all in the agile release train. So agile release train consists of 5 teams minimum to maximum of 12 teams. Okay. So for if you take an example of 10 teams, you have 10 scrum masters. For 10 Scrum Masters, there will be Chief Scrum Master. His name is called as, his role is called as Release Train Engineer. As simple as that. Okay. Assume this is a train, and Release Train Engineer is at the front. He will be driving the train. And each team represents one bogie there. Okay. So at the ART level, we have RTE and product management. Again, product management have under him the product owners, bunch of product owners. And anyhow, we have architecture in our team, right? At the team level, we have system architecture, okay, system engineer at the systems level, and business owners, okay, who is responsible for the bringing the business and creating the high level, what you call epics or features. So they are the key stakeholders, okay. So these roles are the extra roles, okay. As a scrum master, earlier your role was to manage, or coordinate with the team and project owner. That's it. When you go into the train level, you will have to coordinate with RT, sometimes project manager, product management team, and the external things, external interaction is more here in the safe world. We have different ceremonies in the safe. Okay, these are the ART events. At the train level, we have various events apart from our iteration sprint. See, in safe they'll call us a iteration, okay. In scrum they'll call us a sprint, okay. So in train level iterations, you have general iteration, right? Iterations, the iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3, and last iteration IP. One second. Having tough time with the mouse. Okay, so generally each program increment it's split into the 5 what you call breakups, or 5 sprints or 5 iterations. Okay, so first 4 sorry, any question here?
No, it's just 5 iterations.
Yeah. So 5 iterations. So first 4 iterations you will work on the in the PI planning. You will sit with the RT and the product management team. You'll get your top 10 features in PI planning. At the end of the PI planning, you will be good with the top 10 features what you are going to work for next 2.5 months. I'm taking 2.5 months as an example. It may be 3 months or 2 months. Okay, I'm going with the average. So first 4 sprints or iterations, you will have clear-cut deliverables, and 5th iteration is meant for few things. First thing is whatever leftover from the past 4 sprints, they can work over here because you're working in the systems team, and at the end of the each iteration, you have a system demos. Like how we have a iteration demo in the team with the product owner, you will have a system demos with the product management team and the business owner, and with their feedback on the sprint 4, you will have, you are bound to have some changes or some things to rework or whatever it may be. This is the IP sprint wherein you can take that. First off, again, if you take 2 weeks as a each sprint, first week you can work on the leftover work, and second week you can work on innovation, the hackathons or whatever we are having in our organization, based on the culture, based on the context, that innovation events can be happen. And also pre-PI planning or PI planning for the next PI will be taking place. Okay, as I said, PI planning is 2 days. So during this last week of the IP iteration, you'll have a PI planning wherein you will meet together for next PI things, for next 2.5 months on what features we will going to work. So before we generally not just directly go into the PI planning, because we have a kind of a readiness for that PI planning or pre-PI planning. Based on the organization, they call it different names. Pre-PI planning in some organization, PI readiness in some organization, wherein teams are already aware of the features, but in the PI planning you will talk more about the dependencies, you will come up with the program board and all those things. And PI planning, we can have another 1 more hour session. So at the train level, you have different events, like how you have a daily stand up and iteration review, iteration planning, iteration backlog grooming. At the train level also you have events. Okay, this slide is talks about that. Okay, so at the team level, daily stand-up, iteration review, backlog refinement, iteration retro, iteration planner. This is at the team level. When you go at the ART level, you have the next level of meetings, Scrum of Scrums. Major important meeting event is Scrum of Scrum. Okay, so in Scrum of Scrums, generally, if you take 10 teams on an average, all the 10 team Scrum Masters will be there, and it will be what you call facilitated by the RT, release train engineer. What generally they talk in that event, right? They talk about the inter-team dependencies and the impediments at the train level, and as a release train engineer, he has the release plans also when they were planning for the deployment or all those things. So for deployment, you cannot go alone, right? With the single team, they cannot go. So you have to coordinate with the multiple teams. So if some feature is, let us take A, B, C, D teams. A team is planning feature one in sprint 1 and 2, and that feature has been shared between the two teams, A and B. And B team, they cannot start until the A team completes their stuff. Okay, so A team is committed in the PA planning, saying that we will do in sprint 2, and B team, they have to wait till a sprint 3. If something is happened and the team suddenly realize that they require more time, if they want to take it to sprint 3, that will have a good amount of impact on the team B. So these kind of things they will discuss in the Scrum of Scrums. And this dependencies, see the you name it, there are many tools, Rally, Jira, Azure DevOps, and everything, right? So everything they'll be populating in that tool, and they'll be seeing that this is the place they will discuss, okay, how things are going, and what are the impediments at the train level. That is one of the key event at the Scrum of Scrums, the train level, and product synchronization. Here also all the product owners, how Scrum Masters are meeting, even product owners also meet in terms of handling the having the discussion on the future features, and inter-team dependence is also from the product point of view they will be discussed here. Okay, and at the as I said, at the team level, we have the PI starts with the PI planning. Okay, this is the base of the what you call ART, and this is also one of the key event, and popularly they call as a heart of the safe. Okay, PI planning is called as the heart of the safe, because once you understand the PI planning, you are almost there in understanding the safe. That is why people will call it as a heart of the safe. Okay, and inspect and adapt in IP sprint. They all teams together. How we do retro at the our teams level, iteration retro at the team level. They will meet and they'll do workshop there. Okay, they'll have problem solving workshops. Predominantly for every problem solving, we use popular methodology, 5 Eyes, 5 Eyes, fishbone diagram, all those things. And at the train level, they'll come with the problem statement. Before defining the problem statement, they will do this all 5 Eye analysis. And at the end of that problem solving workshop, they'll have some actionable features which will go into the next PI planning. Like how we will do in our retro, we will meet and we will discuss, team will give their feedback or their points. Based on the majority, we will take 1 or 2 action items, and they'll take that into the iteration planning in the next sprint. Similarly, in IP also, in inspect and adapt after problem solving workshop, they will take that. Okay, and preparing for PA plan, as I said, pre-PA planning, PA readiness. This is what in the second week, if you take, it starts from Monday, Tuesday they'll do pre-PA planning, and Wednesday, Thursday they'll go for actual PA planning. Okay, and this is predominantly these are the in the IP sprint happens, but these are spread across the sprints. Okay, I'll tell you the frequency also, general frequency and system demo. You all know, right? This iteration review is done at the system level. For system demo, you cannot, simply go there and we develop this thing, right? You will obviously have to coordinate that, who goes first and which team gives what demo. All these things again handled by our RTE. He will be facilitating that event. Okay, and at the end of the that system demo, we will have a business feedback as well. This is at the train level. Okay, and again, multiple ARTs comprises of solution. This again, this is not as a part of essential shape, but as I shown in the first picture, at the large solution level, those events comes in large solution. You have again solution management and solution train engineer, again boss for RT. Okay, so at the this is the predominantly talks about the ART events and basic elements of the essential shape. Okay, and our continuous delivery comes, DevOps comes to the picture, continuous exploration and continuous integration and continuous deployment. So these mindset will be there right from the beginning of the sprints, and teams has to get the capability or get that comfortable level that based on the customer demand, we will be releasing our products. Okay, some in healthcare and aerospace, they'll go for a monthly or bi-monthly release, and in some cases like Amazon, Netflix, they'll have daily multiple releases. So based on the customer's demand, our team should develop that capability of delivering or going for production or deployment of what they are working on. So for this PI planning, business will give their top 10 features. How the top 10 features are identified and how what is the what you call technique they use to identify the features. Okay, there are many techniques. Out of them, SAFe hugely recommend this technique, and because of the various factors we will discuss in upcoming slides. What is the technique is called as weighted shortest job first. Okay, WSJF. And actually, I see this is as a good prioritization technique, not only in SAFe, in other frameworks as well. They don't name it as WSJF, but they ideally they will be doing this thing only. Okay, so it's WSJF is a product prioritization model used to sequence the jobs, like the features, capabilities, and epics. Right? Epics will be breakdown into capabilities to the features. Okay, to produce maximum economic benefit. This is the key word here, economic benefit. You cannot just develop your features based on your comfort level or based on your skill set. Okay, you have to respond to the market needs. That's how how do we do that? What is the parameters to prioritize certain features? So there is WSJF helps there, and it's in a nutshell, it is a cost of delay divided by the job size. Okay, what is cost of delay? We will see. Job size is generally how much duration it will take to develop that certain feature. Okay, so WSJF is an cost of delay divided by job duration. So what is cost of delay? There are three segments here. Okay, see this again, this prioritization technique is not happens with the single scrum master or product owner. Entire team will sit together. Business people drive this actually. Business people have a lot of role here. Okay, so what is cost of delay? User business value plus time criticality plus risk of reduction or opportunity enablement. What is this risk of reduction or opportunity enablement means? If you are if you want to work on particular feature, what is the opportunity cost? That is what it is. Okay, what we are losing there if you are not working, or what if our competitor is working on that? What is the opportunity? Sorry about that. Okay, and time criticality. So no, if you take a mobile or car as a classic example, you have to be on toes in bringing the features to the market. Okay, all the simultaneous releases are going on, and how fast you are bringing to market is more important rather than how much you take for development. Nobody going to say, okay, This guy is taking two years, we will wait for 2 years. No, whoever gives first as a customer, I will go for it. I may pay extra bucks for that as well. Okay. And user business value. So what is the business value we are getting out of that? So cost of delay is a addition of user business value plus time criticality and risk reduction or opportunity enablement. Okay, I'll come with we will discuss the here if you see a question to you. So example of equal C of D or COD. As we see, COD is a combination of these things. So if you see option A, option B, option C, if you see same dollars, $2, $2, $2. And if you see the duration 1 day, 3 day, 10 day, which will yield good value to us out of A, B, C?
EA.
Yeah, because anyhow, if you work for 3 days, you are getting $2. You work for 10 days, you are getting $2. You work for 1 day, you are getting $2. So obviously, you will work for 1 day and take $2. That's all, straight away. Simple, as simple as that. Okay. And another example of equal duration. Which job first? Okay. Option A, option B, option C. Here, duration is same. 3 day, 3 day, 3 day.
Option B.
Yeah.
B,
Correct.
I suppose.
Option A $1, option B $4, option C $2. So if I work for 3 days, I'm getting $1. In option B, if I work for 3 days, I'm getting $4. And option C, I work for 3 days, I'm getting $2. The same days, I will go for a higher dollar value. So this is what the tricky thing. The same analogy applies here also. WSJF. So cost of delay divided by job duration. If you see future A, future B, future C. Duration is 1, 3, 10. And cost of delay 10, 3, 1. Simple. So this cost of delay will business people will tell that. Okay. And if you divide by that, obviously which has the highest value, you will go for it. Okay. 1 day and if you work for 1 day, you will get 10. So obviously 10 is the score here. And B 3 3 score is 1 and C 10 1. If you work for 10 days, you are achieving the value of 1. Okay. So among these three, our least priority will be this one. We are not saying we will not work on it, but our highest priority will be on the A. Okay. Because you are getting the value more in the first feature. If you see high WSJF first, if you see here time versus cost of delay, here you are getting early. The time is if you take time as a x-axis, you see it is if you are working on this feature A and you are getting value very pretty soon. But whereas here low WSJF, if you work, for example, if you take the C, if you want to get the value, you are getting after 10 days. And with as you all know, right, as time moves on, the risk will be exponentially increased. Okay. So all these links I have placed here, you can go there. We have multiple videos there, and based on the interest, you can deep dive into that. I think I have one Excel. Let me try wherein. Second. Oh, shit. 1 second. I'll come up with the example. That is predominantly something like this. Okay. See, I just covered basics and we have 50 minutes hit there. That's what the problem is. We cannot complete anything in an hour. That's why 2 days class. So if you see here, this is the template. I generally get it. We get it now from SAFe website or So this is a template wherein feature, job duration, business value, time criticality, risk reduction. Okay. This is again automated. If you enter the value, so total cost is 26 COD, total cost of delay. And if you divide by it by job duration, this is the value we are getting. So our focus will be from the highest score to the lowest score. And anyhow, these features are ranked like that only. So this is the great exercise done by the product people. Business people will be there. Everybody who is involved in that ART, they will be giving their points here. Okay. and how we do our estimation, right? It's planning poker and everything, right? We kind of similar kind of exercise is done here, and if there is any differences, the minimum and maximum people will have the discussion and they'll go for it. Okay, so this is again, if you see, based on the sizes and the COD, we will see the major. If you take this is as a time, duration here, our focus will be here, having a high COD and low time. Okay, why? Because even business will also invest on us, right? Even business will little early they will recover their investment, or and also for the customer, you will give the confidence that you are moving in the right direction. Okay, you cannot afford what you call delay in the feedback, and this risk and all these things. Okay, so that is what it is. I try to cover the few things. I try to put it in very short descriptions and things. We have provided links here. I can actually, if you open these links, you have enough information. I'm not going there because again this safe is again highly copyright issue there. I wanted to go there and talk, but I'm not feeling, if I'm not opening there, we have taken 53 minutes, but if I open that, gone, we'll go outside of 2 hours. Okay, so this is the prioritization technique. We have a lot of templates, and if you go to the safe website, especially WSJF page, you'll have templates. So the beauty of the safe is, I really love the safe because everybody in this world, right? Everybody started learning agile, scrum, and scaling up things. While implementing few things, you need a lot of help. Okay, lot of prescriptive things are necessary because you are not sure, okay, whether it will work or not, or how to start. Lot of toolkits and templates are available in the safe. Being a SPC, I can actually help organization to form their ARTs, have this workshop and come up with the something. Something is better than nothing. You, in other frameworks, I don't see anything. Okay, if you don't know anything, you are not sure where you are going, right? At least if you follow something, of course it is tough, but you will have something in hand to start on with. You have good templates in the website. You go there, you'll try to like how I got this template. This is a simple one, but in safe, how to form teams around the ART. So this ART is organizing team around the value. So how we can do that? Okay, how the PI planning itself, I see 10 to 12 templates for PI planning. The structure of teams, team dependencies mapping. If you agnostically say with Excel, I can implement safe. I need not to have Rally or Jira. I straight away use the templates provided in the safe, and I can go for safe, at least to start off with. Because as a business perspective, I want to see whether I know whether this is working or not. To go that, you can take Excel rather buying the licenses and then later realizing that this is not working for us. It's again a cost of investment cost gone there. If you, then while using this Excel and templates, if you realize it is really working, go for the license. So that is the beauty of safe. Once you start learning, you'll fall in love with subject, like how I been in love, and I'll continue to be in love with this. Yeah. So with that, I'll open for questions. I know I thought I'll short at to 9:50, but 9:56. Anyways, we can take questions, team. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but I think thank you so much, Vinay, for such a great session, great information with great confidence. So really appreciate that. I was just wondering about this WSJF exercise. When that should happen. Should that happen before the PI event or the PI planning happens, or like how the value mapping should be done? Like it should be done after the PI is happening, planning happens, or before the PI planning?
Obviously, Gunjan, it should be done before, well ahead of PA planning. Okay. because what you will discuss in PA planning with all this. PA planning itself, I didn't cover that PA planning. If you see agenda, you have a tight agenda. Like, business people will come and tell the context. Like generally, CEO will come and they'll set a tone for next 2.5 months. In next 2.5 months, we will going to develop this because we want to hit the market. And product people will come with their features, and the system team will system architecture people will come there. We with the best practices what we are following for this. And again, teams will go will go into the breakouts, and they'll talk about their features, and they'll come back with the dependencies. And the day and at the day of the at the end of the day one, business people review their plan and they will give suggestions. And day two, again, teams will go into the breakout rooms. They'll discuss the dependencies and they'll finalize the plan and come back to the main floor or main room, and they will scrum master
Yeah,
will
makes
tell
sense.
the
Yeah.
features, and they'll
Yeah,
go for
makes-
confidence voting. All those things they'll talk about the risk, actually what are the program level risk that room rectified, owned or accepted. All these things happens. To do all these things, you need good amount of pre-PA planning. And for your question, before pre-PA planning itself, you need to identify ART. ART identifying itself a big task. That's why safe programming consultants are heavily involved, and they help to identify your agile release train. So initial setting up for one train, it will take months, and once it is established, you will start splitting into the multiple trains, and you will grow bigger. And that's how, by establishing initial one ART, you'll get the basics right, and team gets maturity. And it's not that easy to implement the safe. In order to implement safe topmost course is leading safe. It is not safe scrum master or safe advanced scrum master or safe product owner or safe DevOps. Leading safe. What is leading safe means they'll tell about all these things. No, what is ART, how to form ART, what are the things to consider, value stream mapping. First step, they'll start with the value stream mapping, and then based on that, they'll form ART. And then after that, this cycle continues, the PPI, PA, and everything. It's a long answer, but I want to avoid multiple questions on this aspect and then give a one shot. Yeah.
No, thank you so
Hope you
much.
got
Just
the
one
answer.
last thing, if I may ask. Do you think Scrum Master should be part of WSGF exercise? WGS, WSGF exercise?
Good question. Good question. I really prefer involvement of everybody in that train. Even a developer can come there and talk, because at the end of the day, those are the people they are working in actual context. If you talk, those are the people they are doing coding. Those are the people testing it, integrating it, doing deployment. Though those people has to involve in that. Though business is there, though other people are there, even scrum master should be there, because it gives the clarity, and it gives it opens the gate for even for scrum master. Okay, what is the background of that feature? I'm not saying scrum master should what you call memorize those feature, or you should know end-to-end technical aspect of that feature. But if you have that vision or that knowledge, you will be performed better, or you will be helpful to the team in much better way.
Thank you.
Not just a facilitator. There is a myth in the industry that scrum master is meant for facilitator only. He'll open the meeting call, he'll send the meeting of minutes, MOM, that's all. That is, if I use that, that's a bullshit. Actually, it is, you are not meant for that. Okay.
Agree.
Yeah. Even
Thank you so
administrative people can do that, right? For us, they can
Of
log
course.
in, they can open. Okay, chalo discuss karo. Wow, okay, done. I'll send the MOM. That's all. It's not that, right?
Agree.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi. This is Ravi Krishna. I have one question.
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah, before going asking the question, I would like thanks to Sunand and Vinay, and also thanks for asking me to join this call. And I have one question regarding just the full shape, the full scale, this one framework. At the bottom, we have that core values are there. In the core values, one of the concept is called as built-in quality. But when we see the picture in the essential, in the right side of the corner, we have the built-in quality. Again, it was mentioned. So looks like it is a redundant. So can you please explain that why it was mentioned? Because the core values are common for all four configurations: essential, and large solution, portfolio, and full safe. But again, why it was mentioned?
So basically, if you take that image of essential shape separately, they have mentioned again. Okay, by definition, if you want to talk about what is built-in quality, that is one of the key no, value in the safe. What is built-in quality? You won't wait until for QA to open the defect what you have developed. Developer himself has to think from the QA point of view, or user point of view, and develop. So right from the developer himself, that quality has to be built. Quality should not be made; it should be built. Quality should not achieved by opening number of defects and no itne defects aaya, and if you solve this defect, the product is good. Who told that there is nothing like that, right? So that defect should be killed from the developer point of view, from their role itself. And for that built-in quality, we have lot of practices: string programming, pair programming. Two people will sit together, one will write code, one will test it, vice versa. And all this system thinking, design thinking, all this comes into that built-in quality. That they mention specifically because for everything, built-in quality should be there. Okay, it is not redundant, but they wanted to give focus there, that's all.
Okay, thank you. And the other one is like we have in the right side of the picture the shared services and community of practice and system teams. So these three people are belongs to the art. Is it right?
No, they are not belongs to R, but what you call, see, if for example, if you take community of practice, what is community of practice is it is a voluntary thing wherein people will go. Community of practice is based on the technology, based on the function. Even scrum masters can have their own COP, product owners can have their own COPs. So community is practice like in blogs or whatever you will see, right? You will go there and post your question to your context, and you'll get the answers from the what you call subject matter experts, something like that. In COPs, you go there and see for your answers for your problems. And also for example, I'm one of the lead for the safe scrum masters COP. We will prepare agenda every alternative weeks. We will ask one scrum master to what is working in your team and what is not working in your team. He'll come there and he'll share. By seeing him, other scrum masters also learn, and other scrum masters also, they'll give their input. So those are the other what you call, they are not part of art, but they are part of safe, wherein they will try to provide value indirectly, not directly. For example, in futures, we have some enablers. Enablers won't deliver value directly, but indirectly they will enable 4 or 5 other features which will help them to deliver a value. Something similar kind of that. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I hope I answered the question.
Yes.
So all these questions are purely based on my experience, guys. Okay, trust me. It may vary with the contest to contest, but I am doing my best here.
Yeah. And the other one is like, as I heard, like SAFe is a very big and it's most popular for the scale agile. In essential, we usually concentrate on the features, and in large solution, we'll concentrate upon capabilities. In portfolio, we'll concentrate on epics. But beyond that, we have called themes. Why this concept was not included in the SAFe?
Okay, if you see that, I'll try to. I cannot open that website. Upon that, safe, full safe is there. In full safe, you can see.
Actually, I was seeing that. Yeah, but okay, themes.
Did you find that in full safe?
No, can I share my screen?
No, don't do that. But see, say may not they explicitly mention themes over there, but in full safe, okay, above portfolio in full safe, they will be taken care, obviously, no doubt about it.
Okay, thank you.
or you can just type theme in that safe scaleagileframework.com and you'll find the answer. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And who is the person who is writing tomorrow safe advanced scrum master exam, and she had one question. Where is she?
Mitali,
Okay.
think we okay.
If no one has any question, can I ask? Oh, go ahead.
Vinay.
Yes, Jayachandra, please go ahead.
Yeah, Vinay, I have one question. You already answered regarding the built-in quality, but to connect this particular terminology, I just have one more point here, that in normal Scrum also, I think we will be following the built-in quality, that in each and every stage we will be maintaining the the quality. So what exactly the difference that is making as a fourth point in the scaled agile?
I don't think it is talking not different. It is same, but they want to emphasize more. Okay. I don't think in Scrum or Scrum Alliance they'll talk about built-in quality explicitly, but here they will talk.
Okay.
It's like a best practices. They don't want to mention explicitly, but these people want to explicitly mention, because it is, if somebody is not catering focus there, they'll try to do that. Obviously every team is doing that. They want to call out that explicitly. That's all. No difference. I don't think. Only different if you generally Scrum or normal Scrum and safe. If you any point, if you bring into the picture, think about the next level. Train level, solution level, program level, portfolio level. That's it. Okay. That is the huge the crux between the any other methodology than safe. If something is there in Scrum, if you want to see something in safe, think beyond the team, beyond the train. That's
Okay. Yeah, I got the point. Thank you.
And we can take one more question. There was a question from
Gunjan.
Hey, Gunjan. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions. So
No problem.
I just have one observation, because there is this sprint review that happens, and then when you are into train or safe environment, then you do a system demo. It's kind of a repetition of same thing. Like, can you throw some light on that? Like, why can't we have just one demo or review whatsoever? And yeah,
meaning that you want to skip iteration demo.
it's like everyone in the team complains that it's repetition of work. You give a sprint demo, then you do the system demo, sprint review or system demo. So it's like repetition of same thing. So it's like overkill.
Basically, if I talk in my personal opinions, it deals with a lot of with the mindset. Okay, there is unique objectives of that both sessions. In iteration demo, your PO will be there and he will take that feedback, or he will go through the things what team has developed, and sometimes he'll bring the key stakeholder to that meeting. No doubt about it. But there is a difference between when you see peace, and there is a difference between when you see with big one, right? When you club it with the larger or application, you'll have the end-to-end view, and end-to-end feedback is different than individual feedback. Now how you'll address that? If your team feels redundant, if really it is redundant, you can skip that. There is no problem. Safe will not come and taunt you why you are not doing iteration review. You are bound to follow, right? There is nothing. But I will strongly say it has got their objectives. You have to stick to the objectives. Any meeting, what is the objective of this meeting? If you try to map it, you can answer 100, not 100,000 people. How, okay, if I want to skip iteration review, how this object is meeting? I just told this, right? This piece by piece demo or a system demo, I'll get different feedback. If I skip iteration demo, counter question is how we will get that. And also, iteration review gives first-hand experience for the product owner. It is not that product owner straight away go to system demo. He will see their demo there, right, in front of external world. He will start speaking there. It will like pointing fingers to us only. What were you doing at the team? You can talk right at that event. If you सबके दुनिया के सामने जाके अरे ये कहाँ है वहाँ कहाँ है अपना प्रोडक्ट ओनर बोले तो वहाँ पर अजीब दिखता है, right? That is my
You're
personal.
right. You're right. No, I agree
Okay,
with
guys.
you.
Okay, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let me take Vinay. Just I just want to hold myself, but yeah, let me just take 5 minutes of your time, everyone. Yeah. Okay. So let's come back a little bit about the first question by Gunjan. I will start with Gunjan, then I'll go to Ravi, then again come back to Gunjan. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's already a lot of time. So what I'll do, I'll close this recording because it won't looks good. Let me just close this first.